Have you ever met someone who wasn't the most physically attractive person in the room, but there was something about them, something you couldn't explain? They spoke and you listened. They smiled and your heart fluttered. They didn't try too hard, yet you couldn't stop thinking about them. That is emotional attractiveness. And here's the truth. Emotional attractiveness lasts longer than looks. It draws people in, forms deeper connections, and creates a magnetic presence that others can't resist. In this video, we're going to explore 5 habits backed by psychology that instantly make you more emotionally attractive. These are not tricks or surface-level tactics. These are genuine shifts in how you connect with people, how you carry your heart, and how you leave a lasting impression without even trying. Let's begin. Habit number 1, listening with presence. The first habit is the art of truly listening. Not just hearing words, but listening with your full presence. In our noisy world, people crave to be seen, to be heard, to be understood. When someone talks to you and they feel that you are not just waiting for your turn to speak, but genuinely listening, they feel safe. They feel valued, and in that moment, they begin to trust you. Psychology shows that when a person feels heard, oxytocin, the bonding hormone, is released. It's the same chemical that fuels emotional closeness, not romantic gestures, not fancy compliments, just being present. When you listen without judgment, without interrupting, and without trying to fix things, you give others the freedom to be fully themselves. And that kind of space, it's rare, it's magnetic, it's emotionally attractive. So next time someone opens up to you, don't just nod along, lean in, lock eyes, make them feel like, in that moment, there's nowhere else you'd rather be. Because presence is powerful, and presence is love. Habit number 2, vulnerability without shame. We've been taught to wear masks, to be strong, to be fine. But you know what's truly attractive? Authenticity. People are drawn to those who aren't afraid to be real. To say, I'm scared, I've messed up, I'm still healing. Because in a world of filters and highlight reels, vulnerability feels like a breath of fresh air. According to renowned researcher Brené Brown, vulnerability is the birthplace of connection. When you allow others to see your imperfections, you're giving them permission to be imperfect too. That's powerful. Being emotionally attractive doesn't mean having it all together. It means having the courage to be seen, even in your brokenness. Think about it. When someone opens up to you and shares their fears, don't you feel closer to them? More connected? That's because emotional intimacy begins where masks end. So stop hiding behind perfection. Let people see the real you, the messy, growing, beautifully flawed version. Because that version is the most lovable one. Habit number 3, boundaries that protect, not push away. Boundaries aren't walls, they're doors. They don't push people away, they show people how to love you properly. One of the most emotionally attractive habits is the ability to set healthy, loving boundaries, because when you respect yourself, others will too. Too often we overextend. We say yes when we mean no. We allow people to cross lines, hoping it will make them stay. But psychology shows that people are actually drawn to those who have a strong sense of self, someone who knows where they end and where others begin. Emotional attraction grows in safety, and boundaries create that safety. So when you calmly say, I'm not okay with that, I need time to process, I can't give more than I have right now, you're not being cold, you're being clear. You're honoring your energy, and that's powerful. People may not always like your boundaries, but the right ones will respect them. And in the end, emotional attraction is about depth, and depth requires protection. So protect your peace. It's one of the most beautiful things about you. Habit number 4, emotional regulation. Let's talk about emotional control, not the cold, robotic kind, but the kind that makes people feel safe in your presence. Emotionally attractive people don't just react, they respond. They know how to hold their own storms without unleashing them on others. Imagine this, you're in a conflict, and instead of raising their voice or shutting down, the other person says, I'm feeling overwhelmed. and I need a moment to gather myself. But I want to understand you. Suddenly, everything softens. That's emotional regulation, and it's incredibly attractive. People are drawn to those who create calm in chaos, who can navigate their feelings without drowning in them, who don't let anger, jealousy, or fear define their actions. Studies show that emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize, understand, and manage emotions, is one of the strongest predictors of lasting relationships and personal success. So, the next time you feel triggered, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, what am I really feeling, and how can I respond with grace? Because the most beautiful thing about you isn't your strength, it's your softness under pressure. Habit number 5, showing genuine appreciation. The final habit is simple, but transformative. Appreciation. Not flattery, not manipulation, but genuine gratitude for the people in your life. Emotionally attractive people make others feel seen, valued, cherished. They say things like, I really appreciate how you listened to me. Thank you for being there. I love the way your laugh lights up the room. These small moments of kindness don't go unnoticed. They linger because people remember how you made them feel. Psychologists say that positive reinforcement, acknowledging the good in others, actually deepens connection and builds trust. So don't hold back your warmth. Don't assume they already know. Say it, mean it. Let your affection show in words, tone, gestures, and consistency. Gratitude is emotionally attractive because it tells others, you matter to me. And in a world full of apathy, that matters more than you know. Emotional attractiveness versus physical attractiveness. Physical attractiveness fades, but emotional attractiveness? That's timeless. It's not about having the perfect face or the ideal body. It's about how you make others feel in your presence. Do they feel calm, seen, respected, uplifted? That's the real magnetism. In fact, studies show that over time, emotional traits become more influential in determining attraction than physical appearance. As relationships deepen, things like empathy, humor, authenticity, and emotional safety become what people fall in love with. So don't obsess over the mirror. Obsess over your heart, because that's what truly draws people in and keeps them close. Let's recap. If you want to be emotionally attractive, if you want to create real, lasting magnetic connections, start with these 5 habits. 1. Listen with presence. Make people feel heard and understood. 2. Be vulnerable without shame. Let others see the real you. 3. Set healthy boundaries. Protect your peace and teach others how to love you. 4. Regulate your emotions. Be a safe space, even in storms. 5. Show genuine appreciation. Let people know they matter. These aren't tactics. They're truths. They're how you become someone others don't just desire, but trust, admire, and love deeply. Because in the end, emotional attraction is not about perfection. It's about connection. And connection is built when hearts are open, grounded, and true. So go out there and live with intention. Be the calm in someone's chaos, the warmth in someone's cold day, the softness in a hard world. Because you, just as you are, have the power to be emotionally unforgettable. If this video spoke to you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell us in the comments, what emotional habit are you working on right now? And remember, your emotional presence is your most powerful form of beauty. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.